to May 5th, 2024, where we are discussing, just as we do every single week here in my cosmic corner of the internet, with the cosmic beverage in hand, what is ahead for your week ahead, how you will feel these astrological transits within this week's forecast, as well as all astrological transits in every week's forecast, threaded into your daily life. We bring the stars down here to planet Earth so that you can know not only what to expect with this week's astrology, but how you can co-create with the cosmos in order to navigate your universe with more magic and more alignment. That's why we call it Magic Monday. And may I say, this week is sprinkled with a little extra magic because we have Venus, the planet of beauty, of pleasure, of leisure, of money, of all the lovely things of life, entering territory that she loves to be in. She's settling into her temporary home of Taurus. And Mars, the planet of action, advocacy, and assertion, is entering territory that it enjoys, the territory of Aries, where it is emboldened to be its fiercest, most courageous self. So we have Venus giving us full permission to Venus, full permission to indulge and luxuriate and flirt and enjoy and bask. And then we have Mars giving us full permission to Mars, to advocate, to assert. It's giving us kind of a kick in the butt. If you've been feeling a little sleepy with Mars and Pisces, Mars in Aries is about knowing what it is that you want and going after it, following your instincts. So with these two planets shifting into territory that they genuinely like to be in, we can expect aspects of our life to feel like they are hitting their stride as well. Last week, we had Mercury station direct. So while we're still in yellow light territory, definitely not the time I would make the most important decision of your life or sign the most important contract of your life without looking. But alas, we are slowly and steadily, because it is Taurus season, slow and steady is the pathway and the pace towards our future and new ideas, new visions that we are wanting to move towards. And Mars in Aries is giving us the motivation to move to them. And you might be saying, Haley Comet, this week's astrological soup of transit sounds delicious. Serve it up. Before I do, there's one caveat. There's one ingredient that you're going to want to be mindful of before you dig into the soup of this week's astrology. And that is that there is a hefty sprinkle of Plutonian energy, which is a strong taste. Some may say it's an acquired taste, and it is absolutely flavoring this week's astrology. As Venus, when it enters Taurus, it squares off with Pluto, and we have Pluto retrograde smack dab in the middle of the week. So while there is this desire to want to enjoy life and luxuriate, and we're feeling more emboldened that we're able to move towards new horizons and move towards the future, with the energy of Pluto, there can be some anxiety that is tinged into your week, even paranoia. There could be themes around obsession or power struggles. Again, Pluto transits always give us an opportunity to co-create and really deeply empower ourselves. But with the directional shift of Pluto switching directions, it's less so around looking for this external world to validate us and empower us and needing to plunge inward in order to validate yourself and to empower yourself. When we have retrograde planets, it's a tilt inward. It gets a little less active, more passive, a little less external, more internal, a little less concerned with the future and more so around contemplating the past. Now, important to highlight that outer planets are more commonly retrograde in the year than they are direct. So I don't want you to feel like the cosmos are being mean to us because we just had Mercury go direct and now Pluto's retrograde. Trust me, the cosmos are not being mean to you, but we do tend to feel it very strongly individually when it does station and when it does switch direction, which is giving you this direct pathway, this direct portal into your own inner landscape, into your psyche, into where it is and how it is that you empower yourself. So definitely an interesting ingredient to have within this week's astrological soup, but I guarantee it's still a delicious bite. Dig in, my loves, and we'll break it down thematically as well as day by day. But before we do, I just want to welcome you all into my Cosmic Café, a little segment that we do here on Magic Monday where we chit-chat and talk about what it is that we are sipping to start our week. So I'm drinking a poppy watermelon can. Y'all know me. Ever since my progressed ascendant entered Libra, I'm just so drawn to the aesthetics of things. I truly did not care prior to that point. I wasn't into makeup. I didn't really care about the design of my house. I wasn't that into clothes. Like I was a true mercurial, right? Like all my money went to, books and classes and things of that nature. And while it still does, literally the birthday that my progressed West ascendant entered Libra, it was like something switched in me. And then all of a sudden I was just so fascinated by makeup, and I wanted to try all these different makeup strategies, and I was so much more drawn to the aesthetics of things. So alas, it is delightful. It's a gut health soda. It's called Poppy. It's watermelon. I just love the can. I thought it went with my nails quite nicely. And you know what also goes with my nails is my beautiful Ana Luisa jewelry, who is the sponsor of this week's Magic Monday. And if you watch Magic Monday, you know that Ana Luisa's support is a huge component of why Magic Monday is able to happen every single week. And you'll also know that Ana Luisa is my very favorite jewelry brand. Most of the jewelry that you see me wear video to video is Ana Luisa. Most of my collection is Ana Luisa. And the best part about Ana Luisa jewelry is that it lasts. I have been lucky enough to be able to work with Ana Luisa over an extended amount of time. And when I say the jewelry from our first collaboration is still in my rotation, has not broken, still just as shiny. And I'm not somebody who tiptoes around my jewelry. I work out in my jewelry, I shower in my jewelry. And when I say that it does not tarnish, it does not break, it is incredibly high quality without having to pay an arm and a leg. And you know who deserves high quality jewelry that you don't have to pay an arm and a leg for is mom. If you are celebrating Mother's Day this year, I deeply recommend checking out their Mother's Day sale. You can get up to 25% off the high quality timeless pieces of Ana Luisa. It makes such a lovely gift option because you are giving someone the gift of adding a little bit of beauty, a little bit of adornment into their day-to-day to just really feel like the goddess that they are. Take a look on the website. They have all sorts of different pieces spanning across all sorts of different aesthetics and preferences, silver and gold. You can be sure that you'll find something that mom would adore, another mom within your life, or yourself if you're wanting to treat yourself. Hey, Venus is now in Taurus. This is get a little bougie season. This is you deserve it season. This is adorn yourself with high quality jewelry season. And you all know if you watch Magic Monday, Ana Luisa is my absolute favorite. I adore every piece I've ever gotten from them. And even though the love that we have for mom is priceless, the jewelry on Ana Luisa is high quality yet affordable. There are pieces that start at just $39 so that you could spoil a mom in your life, yourself, someone else significant within your world without having to spend a ton of money in order to achieve a really high quality, timeless look with jewelry. So make sure to check out the Mother's Day sale. You can click the link within my description or within the pinned comment. There's fast free shipping anywhere in the US and crazy fast shipping options if you are outside of the US. Thank you, Ana Luisa, for working with me yet again. I'm telling you, you all make these Magic Mondays so much more magical. Y'all make sure that I'm sparkling and shining here in the Cosmic Corner every single week, and I'm so grateful for our partnership, and I'm so grateful that I get to share something that I'm genuinely so passionate about with my audience. So make sure to check that out if you are interested. And without further ado, let's go ahead and take it into a vibe check of the week. So here on Magic Monday, we have a segment called Vibe Check of the Week, where we essentially take all of the energetics that are threaded into our horoscope, from Mars sextile Pluto to Pluto stationing retrograde to Venus entering Taurus, Mars entering Aries. We essentially compare what all of those transits feel like to a real life scenario, so that even if you're not necessarily well versed with all the ins and outs of what those transits indicate, you can tune into and kind of grab hold to a certain vision, a certain image, a certain emotion. And it's not me saying that this exact scenario is going to play out, but tune into the vibe, tune into the emotions, tune into the dynamics to get some hints and clues around how it may. So this week's astrology feels like the following vibe. So we will say that someone has been asking you on a date. And they've been a little repetitive about it, and it's not that you weren't down, you just had a lot going on, you were busy, and you just kind of were blowing them off, and then finally you're like, what the heck? You know, so much of last week's astrology, which PS, you can get caught up on last week's Magic Monday there, was a lot about growth and moving forward. Part of the reason you were kind of just like swatting this person off is because you're still healing, right? You're still getting over your ex, you're still pining over your ex, but you just finally decide, you know, the cosmos is nudging me forward towards growth. Let me go out on this date, right? Let me be open to new possibilities. I'm feeling mad about this person, but maybe it's just because I'm still getting over my ex. So you say yes, you finally relent. You're like, all right, I'll let you take me out. And to your surprise, it was a dream. It was a fairy tale. Like, you find that you have a really lovely rapport with this person. The laughter is easy and plentiful. You all eat delicious food. This person holds your hand. It's such a sweet, dreamy, romantic night, and you are filled with butterflies. And so this individual drops you off and you go inside and you're just so excited about the new potential, about the new possibility of this blossoming romance. And you kind of ride those butterflies for the next couple of days. But as the date gets further and further away, you start to feel those like excited romantic butterflies turn into like anxious butterflies around, when am I going to hear from this person? Were they not as into it as I was? Like, I was there on that date. They were laughing at all my jokes. They told me I looked beautiful. They held my hand. We were stargazing. Like, why is this person not texting me? And you can't help it. It's like every time you look at your phone, you just feel this sensation of dread every time that this person's name isn't on your phone. And keep in mind, it's such a role reversal. It's such a power shift. Like, this was someone who was begging for a chance from you, and then now you're invested, and suddenly you're not hearing a peep from them. And you can't help it. It starts to just kind of worm its way into your mind, and you just feel yourself getting more and more obsessed, just wondering, was it something I did? Was it something I said? Should I reach out, right? Should I be the one to initiate the next hangout? I don't necessarily want to do that, but why is this person not reaching out to me? And these anxious feelings are festering and festering and festering until so much of your brain space is just occupied by this person who, again, 2 weeks ago was not even the faintest thought in your mind, and now it's like you're hinging your entire happiness on this external source and whether or not they're giving you the attention that you want. And it's important to know, even if it's not a romantic dilemma that you're facing this week, like Venus is also about, finances. Venus is also about pleasure. Venus is also about the feminine. It's about beauty. You could feel this energy of Pluto around this very obsessive, almost like needy energy around, I need this. Again, like within the vibe check, you're hinging your entire happiness on this person and on the satisfied outcome with this connection. And while it might look different in your life, just being conscious where it is that you are hinging your own enjoyment of your world around these external sources. Like with Pluto retrograde, it's so important to empower yourself from the inside out. And it's important with Pluto retrograde, this turns the lens inward. So rather than being so obsessed on getting these external outcomes that we want, which again, Pluto energy makes it clear, like there's so little in life we can truly control, right? And rather than trying to control the outcome, Pluto retrograde is an invitation to dive inward. Rather than asking, why is this person not texting me back? Asking yourself, why am I so obsessed with this person's validation? Or what is it within me that is making me fiend for this person's attention? Am I shifting my obsession from my ex to this person because I'm missing something within myself? Like with Pluto retrograde, it's this invitation to say, this is really interesting behavior I'm observing in myself, that all of my brain space is dedicated to this person who just 2 weeks ago, I didn't even care at all. I was buzzing them off. And now it's like my entire happiness, my entire joy in life is like in this person's hands. And have they even earned a spot there? It's going to look different for every single person. Okay, I don't want anyone to panic if you went on a dreamy date that you're not going to hear from that person again. But if there is something where you're kind of just fiending and you're wanting this certain outcome, with Pluto retrograde, it's really asking you, look inward. And with Mars sextile Pluto, is there something that I can do to better utilize my energy? Because we cannot control whether or not other people like us. We cannot control certain outcomes, but we can control a lot. Mars entering Aries and Mars sextiling Pluto makes that clear. We can control what it is that we are constructively putting energy towards. We can control how it is that we show up within our day-to-day. We can control how it is that we redirect that obsessive energy towards this individual and put it into your business, your friendships, the things that do fill you up. There's an ask this week to truly empower yourself, to know that power is not something that exists outside of yourself. It's really important to find it from within. And there might be certain scenarios where you are feeling a little powerless. You're like, this person doesn't text me back, or this job that I wanted won't reply, or my husband is behaving strangely. Again, we cannot control the external outcomes. All we can control is our own energy, where we're directing it, and also just taking this Plutonian plunge around, why am I giving my power away? Why am I obsessing over this? Why am I allowing so much of my life to be siphoned by whether or not this person texts me back, or whether or not I get this job, or whether or not my, husband is acting right? And it's asking you to realize that you give your power away when you see somebody else or certain situation as the only conduit for you to access certain emotions or certain love or certain pleasure within your experience. Like within your obsessed mind, within the vibe check, you might feel like, no, the only way I'm going to be happy is when I look at my phone and I see this person's name on it, because that means they like me. That means that I'm likable, right? It's realizing like that validation that I'm looking for within this person, I can find within myself. That love that I'm looking for within this person, I can find that within myself. That fun time that I had on a date with this person, I can have that by myself or with other people within my world. Like, do not leak your power out. Do not see this particular dream job or this particular person that you went on a date with or this particular group of individuals' approval. Do not see that as the sole source of what it is that you are craving from these interactions, right? Because we don't ever just want the thing, we want how it makes us feel. So what you're craving from that person that you went on a date with is you're craving the fun and the laughter and feeling hot and feeling like you had your hand held and all of the things. You're craving that emotion, and you give your power away when you put this person on a pedestal around, this is the only person who can allow me to feel that way. People are portals. We can experience a lot of emotions through a lot of different connections. And same goes with jobs or whatever it is within your world that feels somewhat out of reach, that's making you feel out of control. There are many different avenues for you to get towards that emotion or that resolution that you are craving within this experience. And with Pluto retrograde, it's really diving deep to see that you are the portal that gets you access to those emotions. It is not solely in the hands of other people or of certain situations. So we'll deepen the story of the vibe check within our day-by-day analysis. I just want to make a couple of brief notes before we do. The first being, I utilize Pacific Time Zone or PDT, and you'll want to ensure that you convert it to your time zone, as many of the energies may land at a different time or even on a different day than the one that I state. I also want to highlight that you are so welcome to play with the playback speed in order to adjust my rate of speaking to your rate of processing. There are also timestamps below should you feel called to jump to a particular day, jump back to a particular day. And without further ado, let's go ahead and take it into our forecast for Monday, April 29th. So happy Monday. Here is your horoscope for Monday, April 29th. And may I just say, it is a Monday with some extra magic sprinkled on, as we have Venus leaving her detriment of Aries and entering her rulership of Taurus. This, energetically speaking, is the equivalent to you leaving the DMV and getting to go home and putting on your comfy clothes and relaxing at the end of the day. That's sort of the vibe of Venus shifting from a sign that she does not particularly like transiting through, which is Aries, and entering into territory where she is comfy, cozy as can be. She has her snacks, she has her fuzzy slippers, she can light her candles and listen to her music and be like, it's giving an energy of like an exhale, right? Venus in Aries is a lovely transit, but there is something delicious about Venus sinking into her home turf. Like every so often we have to go to places that we don't particularly want to be at. For me, I said the DMV because I don't like being at the DMV, but comment below, what's like your least favorite places to go? Is it the dentist? Is it the DMV? Is it the grocery store? Like what are your places where you're just like, get me out of here? That's sort of how Venus feels about transiting Aries. And then with Venus entering Taurus, she's like, I can go home, I can indulge, I can luxuriate. And what can you expect? So there definitely is going to be this nudge to really want to enjoy life. Keep in mind, we're in Taurus season. So the sun is answering to Venus, and Venus is now in rulership. So it's answering to itself, right? So it's strong here. And there can just be this nudge around wanting to enjoy your life, wanting to enjoy this experience, wanting to indulge in delicious food and in beautiful jewelry and in lovely experiences. There's just this desire to really anchor and ground into into this experience and to experience this world through all of our senses. And with Venus transiting Taurus, there's a deep desire to want to live life through our senses. And this will be a fun exercise just as you navigate this season where, let's say you're just, crocheting, get the other senses involved. We got sight, we're crocheting, but play a record to get something sonically happening. Have an essential oil diffuser to get some nice smells going on. Wrap yourself in a fuzzy blanket to get your feelings. It's all about really anchoring into your physical vessel, right? We have more and more of the cosmos entering earth element, as well as with Venus, the planet of beauty and enjoyment. It's like giving yourself just clearance to enjoy life, to find these micro moments of just crocheting and to make it something divine, to make it something sensual and enjoyable, because so little of life is these big sweeping moments, right? Of the marriage and the vacations, We have to find ways to make little parts of our day into rituals, into something lovely and something that we look forward to. And this was weaved into the vibe check just around, the date going well, eating delicious food, having a nice time, feeling really grounded and anchored in this experience. And with Venus in Taurus, definitely it can be an aligned time. I mean, we've got the planet of love sitting pretty in its home territory. Do keep in mind, it's building a square Pluto. We'll talk about that in a moment. But we can find we are more open to love, but really we're just more apt to romanticize life. Like oftentimes, those energies of lighting candles and playing records, like we do that when we have guests over or we're on a date. But with Venus and Taurus, it's really just seeing yourself as worthy of giving yourself these lovely sensual experiences and really just basking in all of the pleasures of being a human being. And I think with the energy of Taurus, I just want to say to those who are open to love, okay, I don't want this vibe check to scare you. I'm not saying you won't hear from somebody, but with Venus and Taurus, it's really allowing yourself to be patient, right? Like with the vibe check, there was like this freaking out energy around, I have not heard from this person in the timeline that I want. That felt good going on this date with them. I want it to continue feeling good. I want them to show up, right away. I want them to cuddle me every night. Right? Venus and Taurus is very, very cuddly. But it's really important to really just let things blossom at their own rate. Nothing is in a rush in nature, yet everything gets done. And same goes with matters of the heart. And try your best not to let the fear or the paranoia with the square to Pluto get in the way of this, blossoming romance, right? It's just like watering the garden of your connections and just honoring that the pace of which they bloom may be different than the pace that you maybe wanted, but allowing yourself to be present within the process. With Venus and Taurus, it's really important to just enjoy every step as it happens. Don't try to get ahead of yourself by trying to understand the outcome around, am I going to be together with this person forever, right? Or is this person going to reach back out to me or when? Like with Venus and Taurus, it's enjoying the process, enjoying this process of courting and getting to know this person and not letting that fear of the outcome, which PS, we cannot control, okay, Pluto energy makes that clear, take away from the beauty and the enjoyment of this present moment. And so with Venus and Taurus, definitely an invitation to be patient and stay grounded in reality when it comes to those that you are dating. If you are in a committed relationship with Venus and Taurus, definitely take time to indulge in beautiful things with them and to give them a massage and cuddle them and hold their hand. Like Taurus is a very tactile energy. So with Venus and Taurus, we could be wanting to show our love through, cuddles, as well as cooking, of course, with Venus and Taurus. Sometimes you can feel more apt to want to experiment within the kitchen or show your love and appreciation through baking or cooking something delightful. So all potential manifestations with Venus and Taurus. But just know with Venus and Taurus, give yourself permission to enjoy life. There is this creeping energy of the square to Pluto that it's like, but what if this happens? What if this happens? And it's just important to surrender yourself to the outcome and allow yourself to just be totally anchored into this particular day, this moment, this meal, this record, this candle as it unfolds. Like that patience energy is going to be helpful so that you don't get ahead of yourself, especially with Venus building to square Pluto in Aquarius, the sign of the future. And while it's a productive day, as the moon's in Capricorn all day long, we'll talk about that in a moment, I do want to highlight, in case you're not feeling so energized, even with the productive Capricorn moon, you may be still in the haze of Mars aligning with Neptune. So this happened last night, and because Neptune energy tends to kind of bleed out, you could absolutely still be feeling this, which could be feeling quite sleepy. Mars is also at the aneretic degree of Pisces. You could be kind of within your own dream world, a little bit in fantasy potentially, and that was sort of weaved into the vibe check around, you know, the date was a fairy tale, right? It was a dream. And sometimes with the energy of Neptune, we could be really deep within, you know, our imaginative fantasy world, which, you know me, it's a Pisces giving you your weekly horoscope. I'm no stranger to fantasy or imagination, but I do feel that it's very important to stay grounded, to stay tethered to reality. I think a lot of times fantasy can contribute these loops that I was talking about around, you know, seeing this person as the sole source of your access to joy and happiness and laughter. Because sometimes when we're in fantasy, we're like, this person's my soulmate, and we're gonna have this huge life together. Like, fantasy can sometimes lead you to being in that loop of being fixated on the outcome, right? Because you're fantasizing on the outcome and being married to this person or having this whole life. And those visions kind of feed that kind of addictive Plutonian loop around, I want this certain outcome and this person's not texting me, so I'm not going to get this outcome. This is the only way that I can get this craving satiated, and this is the only person who can give this to me. Like, that's why I always say with Neptune energy, it's powerful to take action on what it is that you are envisioning. With Mars, Neptune also kind of infiltrating our Monday, paying attention to what you're feeling inspired to take on, what's feeling in flow, not fighting the flow. We talked about that a lot last week, and that could absolutely be felt within the beginning portion of your week, but also just remember to stay grounded. That's going to help you. Just with being in between the Neptune energy and the Pluto energy of this week, it's going to help you to just strive to stay as grounded as possible, right? Be present with Venus and Taurus, be present in this moment. Okay, I don't need to fantasize about this person and I's whole wedding and life together. I can just enjoy the date, right? And I want to be clear, Mars is not the planet of love, but it is the planet of attraction. And just with Mars, Neptune, like being attracted to this fantasy that we are projecting. So just something to be cautious of, okay? And again, for many of us, it won't necessarily show up within a date, but it could show up around, I need these sort of results at my business, or I need these people to like me, or I need this situation to be solved, and kind of indulging into this fantasy, which kind of helps feed into this Pluto loop around obsessing around making that fantasy real or wanting the certain outcome that you have imagined. So just something to be conscious of. And so with Monday's astrology, we have the moon transiting Capricorn all day long, and the moon does not particularly like being in Capricorn, but what I will say, especially with the Capricorn moon sextiling its ruler Saturn around 8 a.m. PDT. And so with the Capricorn moon, we're definitely starting off our week on a productive note, wanting to get things done. But with Venus and Taurus, we're wanting to enjoy the process. We're being patient with the process. And that very energy is what differentiates Taurus from the other earth signs. Like, we have to keep in mind that Taurus is an earth sign, right? So all are trying to get to the bag, okay? We're trying to buy ourselves some nice things or work towards success or leave our impact. Like, absolutely, the energy of earth element is very grounded within this physical world. But Taurus is very different in that its ruler is Venus. So it's like, yes, it's trying to get to the bag, it's trying to have nice, comfy things, but it's trying to enjoy. Like, it's really seeing work as a pathway to get to what it is that they enjoy and what it is that they want, that is stability and security. Versus the other earth signs can sometimes see their vocation or what it is that they work towards as an extension of themselves. Capricorn being ruled by Saturn, Virgo being ruled by Mercury. These are different energetically than Venus. Like, Virgo can find it very hard to like shut off if all the tasks are not done, with them having that Mercury association around all of the things. And with the energy of Saturn, sometimes Capricorn can feel like it needs to earn the nice things, earn, you know, the bottle of wine at the end of the day, or burning up the nice candle, or what have you. So the core difference that differentiates Taurus from the other earth signs is that the energy of Taurus, it'll work hard, it's grounded, it's dependable, it's loyal, but when the day is done, they are trying to enjoy their lives. They typically have a little bit of a more healthy relationship to work than the other earth signs. So yes, the energy of the Capricorn moon on Monday, there can be an energy around wanting to get your tasks done, but with Venus and Taurus, it's remembering that life is meant to be enjoyed. At the end of the day, it is just a job, okay? It is just a job. There's going to be bad days at work. There's going to be good days at work. If you are emotionally relating with, oh, I made that mistake at work and this is something about me, Venus and Taurus is keeping that perspective around, even if I made a mistake at work, even if, you know, my boss wasn't pleased with my Q1 numbers or what have you, I still deserve to have a nice afternoon and make myself a nice dinner. Like, I am not defined by what it is that I do. It's nice to take pride in what it is that you do, but knowing that your pleasure isn't contingent upon it is what I want to say with this energy. And the reason I bring up, you know, validation is because the Capricorn moon squares off with Mercury in Aries in the morning time and then squares off with Chiron in Aries a little later in the day, which the energy of moon squaring Chiron, especially with moon not being dignified in Capricorn, there can be certain ouches, and it could come through a certain boss or authority figure, or even just seeing a competitor who's doing better than you or having made a mistake. Like, there's something that you are taking personally. Like I said, this is an important week to really just pay attention to where we are leaking our power out around. I am only powerful if I have secured validation from my boss, or I am only powerful if I feel like I'm doing better than my competitors. Like, putting our worthiness into all of these external factors, which truly creates this loop around an insatiable hunger for more of it, never feeling completely fed, because again, it's coming from outside of us. So maybe we get that temporary, you know, hit of someone saying a job well done, or feeling like we're doing better than a competitor of ours. But again, that loop continues. So there can be aspects of Monday where it's just like a little bit of an ouch, or something not going exactly as you want it to be, or even being hard on yourself because of a certain mistake or something of that nature. On the topic of mistakes, I do want to say Mercury's direct, yay, but it is still in its shadow, so definitely reread, double check, okay, especially with the Capricorn moon square Mercury in Aries. Don't allow the anticipation and the excitement around wanting to hit send on this computer and check it off your to-do list keep you from the standards of excellence that you want to continue to endorse with the Capricorn moon. There's a battle between the two. So there could be a battle between, I just want this to be done, I want to be able to check this off my to-do list, versus, oops, I said I have attached and then I did not attach what I intended to attach. So always wise when Mercury's treading through territory it's been through prior to double check, reread, try to go slow. You know, Mercury in Aries is raring to go. Try to slow it down. Venus and Taurus will help with that. And then in the evening time at 6:49 p.m., the Capricorn moon will trine Uranus in Taurus. And then at 9:39, the Capricorn moon will trine Jupiter in Taurus. So even though the Capricorn moon isn't necessarily in its favorite territory, it's in the planet version of the DMV, okay? It's in territory where it's like, oh, I don't like it here, this is not my vibe. With the trine to Uranus and Jupiter, it's still enjoying the process. Like, it's having a meaningful conversation at the DMV while it's there, or it's using that time to get ahead on a work project. Like, wherever it is that you are, you can make the best of it. And I think that's an invitation, just with planets not in their dignity necessarily. But I would say in terms of your Monday night, indulge, enjoy, experience all of the pleasures that are embedded in being a human being and having these vessels. Treat yourself well, whether you had a good day at work or you had a bad day at work. Regardless, you deserve a lovely evening, you deserve a warm bath, you deserve a good book, you deserve eating some delicious samosas. Like, you deserve nice things. You are not what it is that you do. And at the end of the day, I just feel like one person needs to hear this. It's just a job. Okay, it's not worth your mental health or crying or obsessing over it. It is just a job. You still deserve a nice evening. You deserve to wind down. You deserve to enjoy your life and this experience overall. So on Tuesday, April 30th, now that Venus has slid into her home territory, Mars gets to slide into it. Now, it's different energetically than Venus leaving the DMV and getting to go home somewhere where it's comfy and cozy and has all the good snacks and decorated the way that you want, and that you're able to put on the fuzzy slippers and the silk pajamas and just chill. Mars's journey is a little different because Mars wasn't unhappy in Pisces. It wasn't like over the moon. It was just like, meh, this is somewhere I need to be, but I'm not like miserable about it. It would be like going somewhere that you're neutral about. Like, I'm neutral about the grocery store, right? Like, I'm pretty neutral about it. It's not my favorite place to be ever, but I go every so often. I'm able to find pleasure there. I get enticed by new things that I find that match my nails. So there's pleasure to be had there. There's opportunity there, but it's not like my favorite place to be at. That's kind of like Mars's journey in Pisces. It's peregrine. So it's neither over the moon nor unhappy. But Mars is now shifting into Aries. So this would energetically be like, you know, leaving the grocery store and getting to go to a place that you love, that you feel at home at. Like we'll say you love your gym. You love your gym. It feels like a second home. Like that's the energy of Mars sliding into Aries. It's like, okay, I went grocery shopping, put all those stuff away. Now I get to go to the gym. Yay. It's like both of these ingresses are an exhale planetary wise. The Venus one was a little bit bigger of an exhale because it did not enjoy being in Aries, but both are getting into this nice, comfy, cozy energy. And so what can you expect with Mars entering Aries? So firstly, I just want to say it's very cute that Mars is entering its domicile on Mars Day, but alas, you may be feeling more motivated to take on new challenges, to follow your gut instincts. You may be feeling more courageous to go out and to make your own opportunities, to make things happen, to take a risk, to have courage. You know, with Mars in Pisces, it's a powerful placement, but there was a little bit of energy coloring these last couple of weeks where it's like, well, we'll see if the universe aligns and the timing feels right, I'll take action. And then with Mars Aries, it's just kind of making your own opportunities. Again, I do believe we're always co-creating with the universe, but sometimes Pisces can be a little bit more of a passive energy, whereas Mars in Aries is like, no, I want it, I got it. It's very much going after what it is that you want and not waiting for the circumstances, the conditions to be perfect for you to go and pursue what it is that you want. So this is an energy around wanting to take things into your own hands, and particularly in the Aries territory of your chart, you may find that you're a little bit more motivated in that arena. You could experience more conflict in that arena. Okay, with Mars and Aries, keep in mind our tempers can be a little bit more activated. We could be much more impatient. We could even be much more impulsive. All things to be mindful of with Mars and Aries, but it does give you this nice boost around no longer wanting to wait for life to happen, wanting to make things happen yourself. And this was subtly weaved into the vibe check around, you know, your questioning. Should I reach out? Should I plan the next date? Like, should I make this happen? I want this. Should I go after it and make this happen? And I want to be clear when I talk about this because, like I said, there's a big nudge this week around really getting clear on what we're really after, what we're really yearning for. Because again, it's like we might get a text back which will satiate us for 6 hours, but then that hunger comes back. Like, what is it that you're really craving? And why are you allowing all of your power around whether or not you're having a good day to rest in the hands of this person that you went on one date with? Again, the specifics are going to vary person to person, but it really is this invitation around when I get what it is that I want, will I really be getting what it is that I want? So like with Mars and Aries, there could be an energy around, I just want to talk to them, so I want to text them. Even though the ball is fully in their court, it's their time to reach out. With Mars and Aries, almost being impatient around, I desire this person, I want to go after it right away. With Mars and Aries, when you get what you want, is that really what you wanted? Do you want to go on a next date with this person if you had to triple text, quadruple text, and now beg this person to go on a date with you? Like, do you want to date somebody who is not taking charge in your guys' dating relationship? Like, really ask yourself, what is it that you desire? And with Mars and Aries, know that you are an empowered individual. You can create your own results. You can create your own luck. You can make things happen for yourself. But really, like, ask yourself if the prize will be worth it at the end of the day, if this chase will be worth it at the end of the day, or if, again, it's just you temporarily distracting yourself with new shiny conquests or things that you want to go after. So just some food for thought there. But with Mars and Aries, definitely an aligned time around new challenges, new opportunities, new horizon. We have Mars sitting at 0 degrees Aries. This is pure potentiality. And that energy around getting excited about new possibilities and new potentials is going to be even more important, because on the same day in the evening time, we do have Venus square Pluto. This happens at 9:30 p.m. PDT. So you're going to feel this Tuesday and you're going to feel this Wednesday likely. And with the Venus square Pluto, it's that kind of obsessive energy creeping in, right? Where it's like with Mars and Aries, I desire this person, right? I want this person. I'm passionate about this person. And with Mars and Aries, I want them right now. I want them to text me right now. I want to go on a next date right now. It's so funny that Venus and Taurus is all about patience and Mars and Aries is not so much. But alas, there is an energy around with the Venus square Pluto. There can be some obsessiveness. There can be some energy around certain power dynamics. within matters of the heart. So I was sort of built into the vibe check around, the power dynamics have shifted, right? Like you did not care about this person. You were like, whatever, whatever, whatever. You gave them a chance. You had a nice time on the date. And now you're like hungry for their attention. That was so plentiful a week ago. You just didn't care about it. And now you're super hungry for it. And again, I'm never an advocate for playing games or being manipulative or things of that nature. I'm just saying energetically, whoever is least attached to the outcome does hold the power in these sort of situations. And this is beyond even just romantically. This is also business deals as well. Like desperation energy, or like, I need this from me. It is repelling energy. And when you're unattached to the outcome, that is more so magnetic energy. So with Venus and Taurus, it's really important to be where it is that you are. And in the example of the vibe check, if anybody, relates, just really reminding yourself, I was fine before this person, I'll be fine after this person. And focus on your own pleasure, focus on your own enjoyment, focus on enjoying your life, focus on finding that power that you seek outside of yourself, within yourself. It makes you more magnetic, okay? And it's detaching from the outcome. Just be in this season of this blossoming connection, be in the season of the business deal. And so with Venus square Pluto, there can be these energies of paranoia creeping into your love life, whether you're single, like in the vibe check, or committed. Single, like wondering, do I have a future with this person? Where is it going? Like talking to other people, like Pluto can very much be a jealous energy as well. And if you're committed, like wondering, is this person pulling back from me? Are they keeping secrets from me? And with Venus square Pluto, sometimes with Pluto energy, there can be this desire where we want to go in deeper. Like if we have these fears, we could want reassurance. So we go in closer around, reassure me that it's all okay. Reassure me that you love me and all of these things. And again, I'm not saying that's unreasonable to require from someone else. I'm just saying a lot of times when people come in really deep, there can be like a repelling energy as well. And you'll want to be mindful of that and stay grounded in it. Here's something that's very challenging energetically when it comes to kind of push and pull just within connections and just maintaining comfortable distance, right? Like if we were in a room together and I was talking to you like this, like breathing all up in your face, you'd be like, girly girl, a little close. But my new lip gloss does smell really good, so at least you would smell that. But alas, not the point. You would back up. You would get back to a comfortable distance. You'd be like, girl, this is kind of a lot. Let's talk astrology, but back up. That's just how we would connect. And here's where it gets challenging energetically is that let's say one person pulls back, right? They're not texting, or your partner needs some more space, or there's a certain business negotiation, like Venus is also money, let's not forget. There's a certain business negotiation, they need space to mull over the numbers. When we feel energetically that someone or some opportunity has taken a step back, we feel them kind of pull away, our instinct, especially this Pluto energy, this kind of fearful, paranoid energy, could be going deeper, right? Triple text them, plan the next dates for them, or ask them if they need anything while they're taking space, or email them again and add some more bonuses into the contract that you guys are negotiating. When you go in deeper, again, it kind of like pulls them back, because again, we want that equilibrium in terms of space that is comfortable as it relates to connection. So it could be kind of like this energy where it's just like getting in closer. And again, with Pluto, like give me the validation that I'm looking for right now, like help quell my fears, help quell my anxiety here. And that's why I'm saying, like with Pluto retrograde, sometimes we have to empower ourselves and be the people who do that for ourselves. So challenging, but my best advice just with Venus and Taurus is really just be so dialed in with your self-soothing, just be so dialed in around feeling grounded, allowing things to unfold in a very patient way. Mars is in Aries, so there can be this energy around impatience, around I want this, I'm going to go in closer, but honor where that could be coming from this Pluto energy, this scarcity, this anxiety, this fear-based mentality. It's just something to be mindful of this week. And with Venus square Pluto, also just not trying to control people, not trying to engage in any manipulation. Some people could be trying to manipulate you or doing power games over you. Okay, that's why I was sort of weaved into the vibe check that the prior week, you were not interested in this person whatsoever. But now one date and it's like the power has shifted, right? This person was pestering you over and over and over for a date. And now you're the one who's like waiting on a text back and you're like, the power has shifted here. The power has shifted. You had the power last week when this person was pestering you for a date. And again, you were unattached to the outcome. That person was more attached to the outcome around wanting to go on a date with you. Thus, you held the power. But now that you're super attached to the outcome and you want a second date and a third date and preferably a wedding and 2 kids and a minivan, now the power has shifted. And again, I'm not saying we need to view the world in terms of power games and manipulation and who has the power and playing games and anything of that nature. I think a lot of it is exhausting, but I just think with the energy of Pluto, it's just being conscious of where it is that you are leaking your power out, particularly to other people. This Venus square and other ways that this can manifest. Like I said, this could show up financially, right? Around, I want this certain job, and if I don't get this job, then I will not feel worthy or valuable. Or even your beauty, right? Like with Venus square Pluto around obsessing. I will not be beautiful until I get these procedure done, or until I get a compliment from this person, and then I'll feel valuable, and then I'll feel worthy. And that's why I'm saying it's such a trap, because the moment you get a compliment from this person, or you get this procedure done, or you get this job, it's like the goalposts keep moving in life. There's always this hunger, this desiring of what it is that we want. It's the next thing and the next thing. You get a date, you want the next date. You get the job, you want the next income boost. That craving and that desiring of the next thing is very much part of the human experience. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Mars is in Aries. It feels good to be in this conquest energy. It feels good to be conquering new challenges and moving towards new aspects of life and new possibilities. It feels good to be in that pursuit of being the best you, but it's not hinging your value on these external sources or these external rewards or these external accolades. It's recognizing and centering yourself as being so valuable and so powerful that you deserve all these accolades and these successes. It's a dynamic shift. It's not looking out in the world for what you and only you can give yourself. Like, you will never feel validated by this external world. You'll never feel beautiful enough by this external world. You'll never feel loved enough by this external world until you start to see it from within as well. And I know it's cliche, but it's so real, okay? And I just want you to be conscious of that with Venus square Pluto, around where it is that you're obsessing around certain financial outcomes, where you're obsessing over certain beauty dynamics, where you are obsessing over your own worthiness, where you are obsessing over certain love and romantic outcomes. With Venus and Taurus, be where it is that you are today. And on Tuesday, let's discuss from a lunar perspective. So firstly, I want to say that the Capricorn moon sextiles Neptune and Pisces around 6:25 a.m. So again, we're absolutely subject to this Neptune energy, not just because of this sextile, but we also have Mars separating from Neptune. It will enter Mars and Aries a little later in the day, obviously. And just with the energy of Neptune, it's like, you know, the energy of Capricorn moon, we're moving to our goals, we're moving to our ambitions, but we'll romanticize the pursuit, right? With the sextile to Neptune and Pisces. Remember when you used to want something that you currently have, right? And then at 8:19 a.m., the Capricorn moon and Mars and Pisces make a little sextile, and it's really cute because they're just about to leave their respective territories, because Mars enters Aries at 8:33 and the moon enters Aquarius at 8:20 a.m. So they have a little handshake before they move into new territory. And so with the moon entering Aquarius, so the focus shifts really around ambition and legacy and all these Capricorn concepts to the energy of Aquarius, which is around community and overall humanitarian connection. And so with the Aquarius moon sextiling Mars and Aries, we're feeling inspired, we're feeling motivated around new challenges, new conquests, but we're also feeling inspired around remembering it's not just us, right? Like with Mars and Aries, Aries is a very self-sufficient, independent sign, and certainly with Mars and Aries, it could feel good during this transit to get things done for yourself and take on new obstacles for yourself and take on new challenges for yourself to prove to yourself you can. But with the energy of sextile Aquarius moon, it's a reminder that sometimes we get more done when we consider the we and not just the I, right? Like whether this is empowering teamwork at work or just remembering what it is that you're doing it for, the community that you are supporting. Sometimes that can work to motivate your ambitions, but also these individuals can help your ambitions and help you accomplish more than you ever could have on your own. So just empowering collaboration, empowering community. The Aquarius moon will go on to square Venus and Taurus around 11:04, and then the moon aligns with Pluto around noon. So the Aquarius moon is kind of like activating this Pluto energy. And again, with Pluto energy, sometimes it just comes through around just feeling uneasy. like just feeling nervous. Like the energy of Pluto, it's sometimes like feeling like something is just on the horizon, something bad is going to happen, and just feeling uneasy about it around, okay, does this person hate me? Did I do something that they don't like? Like, should I reach out and make sure that they don't hate me? Or did something sabotage this business deal? Like, I don't know, I just have this uneasy feeling. And I'm not saying this in a disempowering way. If you feel inspired, take action. Mars is in Aries after all, but ensure that you're taking action from a place where you're feeling grounded, you're feeling centered in your own worthiness, in your own value. You're not looking for band-aids to not feeling worthy or not feeling valuable around, I need to text this person so they can reassure me that it's all okay and that I'm lovable and pretty and all the things. Or I need to follow up with this business deal to make sure that's still ongoing because I don't know if I'll feel successful without it. Energetically, we can feel what energy we bring with us into certain conversations or even like emails or text messages. So particularly if you are following up with something or initiating something, ensure that you're feeling in a very grounded space to be able to do it. It's not coming from this like needy, fearful energy. It's coming from this grounded energy. It's taking action, yes, with Mars and Aries building to sextile Pluto. We do have agency over our life and over our experiences. It's just making sure that that motivation is driven from the right place, not this like anxious, fearful Venus square Pluto place. So on Wednesday, it is May now. Happy May. Let me know you are calling in for the month of May. I have to say, astrologically, it's a pretty lovely month. April was a little wild, and May, while it most certainly has its challenges and obstacles, that's just life. Overall, there's a lot of loveliness baked into our May. Just a reminder, I do have some resources to dive into the overall monthly astrology if you are interested. I make a little calendar with affirmations, themes, breakdown of the astrological transits, the energies that could come up day to day. If you're kind of a planning person, you like to see all of the astrology, not just in a week by week slice, make sure to check that out. It's called Magic Monthly. You can see it within the join button below. But overall, I'm liking May, okay? We have challenges. You know, Pluto is getting ready to station retrograde the next day, but May's astrology feels very lush. May I say. Alas, at 4:27 a.m. we have the last quarter moon. And the last quarter moon asks us to revisit what unfolded during the Scorpio full moon. So I'd love to know what happened with the Scorpio full moon for you. Was it intense? Did you have a meltdown? Were you dramatic? People around you dramatic? Give me the tea. Reading the comments of Magic Monday is one of my favorite parts of every week, so I would love to know. But alas, whatever the story was for you, the last quarter moon is sort of a check-in point from that. And you know, there's a lot of focus on growth and this energy of moving forward and this energy of transformation. And again, you know, the Scorpio full moon squaring Pluto asked us to potentially grieve something from the past or to let something go or let go of control issues. And that's also an ask with Venus square Pluto. It's like understanding we don't have that much control over life, and I know that can feel really scary, but it can also feel very freeing. That's why I'm saying with Pluto retrograde, it's like understanding I am the only person who's going to get what it is that I want and need out of this world. And if I give my power away around hinging certain results on certain people, I am just going to keep myself in this loop of siphoning away my power and my energy. There's so many unpredictable things of life, and I think one of the most unpredictable parts of life is people, right? And I just think with Venus square Pluto, it's not seeing specific people as the sole source of our happiness and our comfort and our joy in this lifetime. Don't get me wrong, like connections are why we are here. It's why we are alive. Invest in the people around you. Invest in community. It's a Aquarius moon, right? But if you are in a really challenging connection or somebody is not showing up in the way that you want them to or need them to, it's really dangerous to see this person as your one and only gateway to experiencing what it is that you want to experience within this lifetime. It sometimes leaves us in these unfulfilling loops where we're waiting on somebody else to give us the outcome that we desire, holding ourselves back from experiences that could be ultimately more fulfilling, right? With Mars building to sextile Pluto, it's like really putting energy towards what makes you feel powerful and what makes you feel like you're moving in a new direction, and potentially calling back energy or releasing certain connections or detaching from connections where you feel like it's putting you in that forever hungry or even like confused energy. It's like investing in what is present and alive within your experience. And so, you know, Pluto can be a grieving, it can be a letting go. Again, Don't worry, it's not that everybody is necessarily detaching from a connection this week, but it is detaching any sort of association around this is the one and only way that I will experience, joy or fulfillment in this lifetime. Like if this person does not act right, then there will be no other connections for me. Plutonians, we can go very all or nothing, black or white, and that could be part of this week with the Pluto energy around obsessing over someone and being like, this is my one and only, I've got to make this work. And with a Venus square Pluto, it can just be this ask to transform how it is that you are showing up within this connection. There can be an ask to, let go of certain connections if they've been ultimately, unfulfilling. And with the energy of this last quarter moon calling back that Scorpio full moon, it's just paying attention to, hey, I don't have control over this person, so let me focus my energy towards what it is that I do have control over. And a hallmark part of last week's Scorpio full moon, which I'll link below if you want to get the tea on that, but a huge part of it was that it was a full moon that squared Pluto, which brings to the surface a lot of these themes around, control issues and transformation. And that's sort of like echoed within this week's astrology, not just because of today's last quarter moon, but also because we have Venus squaring Pluto. And again, with the square to Pluto, we could feel things are transforming and we don't like it. Right? That's why the energy of Pluto, when we feel transformation, there could be an energy to cling around, no, I feel that you're pulling back and I want things to be like they were that one date. Or I can feel that you're less interested in this business deal and I want to pull you back until it looks like this. Like with the square to Pluto, that's where that uneasiness comes from, is that there's this feeling around things are going to change and I don't like that. So I want to control the outcome. For a few of you, not all, for a few of you, there can be an ask to detach from certain connections, especially energetically, if they're taking a lot from you, if they're siphoning a lot from you, if it's leaving you in unfulfilling cycles. This could be very much something you just do energetically around just calling your power back, like no longer allowing this person to dictate whether or not you have a good day on their behavior, right? Whether or not they text you, whether or not they act right. Like with Venus square Pluto, it could just be this energy around, I am calling my power back, right? And some of you could just feel this transformation and this evolution around your connections overall, being open to evolution, being open to moving forward. And the last quarter moon, a lot of times this is like a nudge around what it is that we're wanting to let go, whether it's like literally a person or, a certain mindset that we have, a certain belief system. There could just be this energy around, this is keeping me trapped in this loop of never fully feeling satisfied, and never fully feeling validated by you, around never fully feeling like you're giving me what it is that I need. Enough. I'm calling my power back. Could sort of be a vibe of this last quarter moon, releasing whatever is leaking your power out. Then the Aquarius moon will sextile Mercury and sextile Chiron. So to a very mundane level, this could be great for, collaborations, working together. And I want to say there's a very Plutonian energy baked into this week. And Pluto energy can influence our thinking to making it very black or white. Very much thinking in terms of extremes. It is either the best day ever or the worst day ever, dependent on whether or not this person texts me. I am either a huge success or an utter failure based on whether or not I successfully get this business deal. I'm either liked and influential and powerful if these people like me, or I am a loser if they don't. And Pluto energy can make us think in terms of extremes. And on Wednesday, there's an invitation with the Aquarius moon sextiling Mercury and Chiron to be mindful around how it is that we are framing our mind and subtly reframing things as see fit. Around if we're observing, we're thinking in extremes with Pluto energy around how will I go on if this person never texts me? Like with the energy of Aquarius moon sextile Mercury, it's this energy around thinking through things very logically around, I was fine before this person, I'll be fine after this person. I was fine before this business deal, I'll be fine after this business deal. Let's look at the facts. And even with the energy, it's like feeding your brain some brain food if you're observing that you're getting very obsessive, watching a YouTube video, reading a book, decorating your brain with some new sorts of thoughts if you're observing that the Pluto energy, you're just obsessing and obsessing and obsessing. With the energy of Aquarius moon, sextile Mercury, and Chiron, it's this energy around enough. Enough. Let's feed our brain and our perspective some brain food that's actually nutritious, because again, the energy of Pluto, it's like we're not getting what it is that we need by trying to obsess or control a particular outcome. So just something I want to say on Wednesday in case you feel that coming to the surface. And then in the evening time at 11:06 p.m., the Aquarius moon will square Uranus. So as this is building, your emotions could be feeling very erratic, unstable. And again, with the energy of Aquarius moon having sextiled Mercury earlier in the day, journal Journal about it, break it down. Why is this making me so uncomfortable that this person is not texting me back? Why am I so fearful about losing out on this business idea? Why am I so hungry for these people's validation and attention? Like sometimes revisiting the facts of a situation helps us remain grounded. And with the energy of Aquarius moon square Uranus, you could be feeling very rebellious. You could be feeling a little restless, absolutely, as this energy builds. It could be hard to sleep, falling asleep, having some really random, bizarre thoughts or contemplations and around, would I be friends with an alien if they invaded? Like that could be your literal last thought as you're drifting to sleep. And also, a lot of us will be asleep for this, but I do want to just highlight here that early on Thursday at 2:28 a.m., the moon also goes on to square Jupiter. And I just want to say, with the Aquarius moon building to square Jupiter and Uranus, there's like this desire to change. And again, Uranus energy can make us very restless. I always describe it as that energy when you're wearing something that's too tight and you just want to rip it off. You're like, get it off of me. Get this off of me. This is too tight. I'm uncomfortable. And there can be elements of that. Like again, we're craving growth and we're craving empowerment really with Pluto getting ready to switch directions. And with the energy of moon squaring Uranus and Jupiter, you could just be wanting to rebel. There could just be this energy of wanting growth, wanting to get out of this particular experience, or also just wanting a band-aid to the uncomfortable emotions that we are feeling, like really wanting comfort. Like I want something that makes me feel better. And again, when we're obsessing over something, we're like, this person is the only person that can make me feel better. If this person texts me, if this job gives me the job, if these people tell me that they like me, like that's the only thing that will make me feel better. Like when we think of it that way, that also is leaking our power out. So there definitely could be this energy around just wanting to feel better, craving something different, craving growth, wanting to move forward. Just be mindful around where it is that you are putting power to give you that emotional response that you're looking for. On Thursday, May 2nd, around 11 a.m.-ish, Pluto will station retrograde. And you may feel this energy build on Wednesday, you may feel it on Friday, you may feel it infuse your entire week, is this Pluto energy. Like I said, outer planets are more commonly retrograde than they are direct. Like for me personally, let's say someone out there is planning a launch or you're coming out with a book or something of nature, I wouldn't stress about making sure that all of the outer planets are direct. Like you'll really want to look at the planets that are the most relevant to whatever it is that you are putting out there in the world. Pluto is a lot more collective and generational than it is necessarily deeply intrinsic and deeply personal. But with that being said, we do tend to feel planets strongly when they are switching direction. And again, when a planet switches from direct to retrograde, it's like being more so externally focused to being more so internally focused. And with Pluto being the planet of power, there's really this ask around where is it that I'm leaking my power out that I can in turn find from within. There's also an invitation to contemplate, what am I obsessing over? Because it's no coincidence in astrology that the planet of obsession is also the planet of power. Because what it is that we obsess over, we give our power to. By the same token, individuals who are strongly Plutonian, people tend to obsess over them. They tend to elicit very strong love or hate reactions. They tend to be the sort of people who have presence. And by that token, they have power. That's why a lot of celebrities are Plutonian. And they garner a lot of obsessive energy, wondering, what are they doing? What are they wearing? They're powerful because our obsession makes them so. And that people pay attention to them. They obsess over them and what they're doing, making them in turn more powerful. So when it comes to Pluto retrograde, it's also this invitation to contemplate, what am I obsessed over? And as a Plutonian, okay, obsession can be a powerful thing. So I think sometimes when you're obsessed on a goal that's worth pursuing, you unearth more you out of you. But that's the perspective that I want you to feel anchored in, is being the best you that you could possibly be. That's echoed by Mars sextile Pluto, which exacts tomorrow. We can feel shades of it because it happens very early on Friday morning, but nevertheless, it's not a bad thing to be obsessed, so long as it's a sort of obsession that's drawing more you out of you, that's allowing you to feel more empowered, that's making you feel more energized to take on new goals and to accomplish more and to do more and to be more and to have a bigger impact, so long as it's taking you more so out into the world and making you feel more empowered, right? Around, this is my goal, but I'm a powerful person before it and I'm a powerful person after it. And it feels good to be in this energy of pursuit. There's a difference of that versus this energy around around obsessing and obsessing. My life won't be complete until this, or I won't feel worthy until this. It's seeing yourself as already powerful. And rather than looking for the validation outside of yourself, validating yourself, empowering yourself. That is the important perspective. So with Pluto retrograde, it could be also asking, what am I obsessing over? Where am I waiting to live? I feel that with Mars entering Aries, like, where am I waiting to live? And can I give myself permission to start living now? Like, for example, let's say your obsession isn't necessarily a person or a business deal. Maybe it's, I'll be happy once I lose 10 pounds, right? And I'll do those things. I'll take that dance class once I lose the weight, or things of that nature. And it's like, where can I empower myself now and stop waiting to live? As soon as this condition is met, and as soon as this condition is met, where can I just take charge of my reality as it's showing up now and not wait on these things to happen, not wait to live? Like with Mars and Aries, get impatient about the right things, get impatient about the experiences you want to have and the challenges you want to take on, and where it is that you can make them happen for yourself and not hinge it upon certain external outcomes. And the last note about Pluto that I want to bring forward here, I do strive within Magic Monday to focus more so on individual astrology. I'm not so lit up by talking about collective implications and things of that nature. But I do want to highlight Pluto retrograde does indicate a power review, power and who has it, who has misused it, who has mishandled it. I also want to bring forward that with Pluto retrograde, you could be contemplating where you've been transforming, right? And it's important to highlight with this perspective shift, sometimes we can shake up our external world and still feel the same inwardly, right? It's like, well, I thought this was going to fix it. I thought when I got the dream job, I would finally talk to myself nicer. Or I thought when I got this certain relationship that all my problems would go away. Like I thought these external things were going to fix it, and they didn't. Like with Pluto retrograde, it's like, well, it's still me. Wherever it is that I go, there I am. With Pluto retrograde, it's really asking, dive deep within your own psyche to ensure that the transformation that perhaps some of you are seeing within your external world is equally mirrored within. And so to a lunar perspective on Thursday, the moon will be void. Closing aspect is the square to Jupiter at 2:28 a.m. until it enters Pisces at 11:52 a.m. So we have a void moon morning, and you know, the energy of Aquarius moon squaring Jupiter being the closing aspect, you can be feeling a little bit more lazy, or even just like deep in thought, researching different things. And then when the moon enters Pisces, the vibe shifts to a little bit more spiritual and ethereal. Then the Pisces moon will go on to sextile Venus in Taurus, which is cute because they're both transiting in territory that the other exalts in. Moon exalts in Taurus, Venus exalts in Pisces. So they're having a little cute sextile, and there's just an invitation to enjoy your life, to infuse the magic within the mundane. Like it might just feel like a dinner, but if you put out the candles and you drink the wine, it becomes an event. And the energy of Taurus moon, sextile Venus in Taurus, it's indulging in the experiences that soothe the senses, but also indulge the soul, right? And so this could be a great date night, honestly. You know, one thing I will say about both passion planets sitting in their home territory is some of us could be definitely feeling more lusty or just more inclined towards, you know, romance and things of that nature. Okay, I just had to say it. But with the energy of Pisces moon, sextile Venus, we're in the mood to enjoy, we're in the mood to connect, we're in the mood to indulge. So on Friday, May 3rd, the headline is that Mars in Aries sextiles Pluto in Aquarius. And this happens around 2:06 a.m. So you could feel shades of this on Thursday and perhaps even ricocheting out until Saturday, Sunday. But the core theme of this is to really put your energy into things that will genuinely empower you. With Mars sextile Pluto, it's this energy of resilience, of really sinking into that knowledge around, if not this business opportunity, then something else. If not this person, then someone else. And I know I'm going to be okay because wherever it is that I go from here, and I don't know where I'm going from here. Sometimes Pluto energy, it's like, I don't know what's happening. But wherever I'm going, I've got me. I've got me. And I am the source of my own power. And I am a renewable power source. I generate my own power. That's the energy of Mars sextile Pluto, where it's like, even if a door slams in my face, even if this person wasn't the right fit, even if this business deal doesn't go through, that's okay. Reinvent, pivot, keep going. And with Mars sextile Pluto, just not seeing power outside of you, seeing it within you. And that makes you feel more empowered to take on new challenges and new conquests and to approach it with the right attitude, with the right mindset. And with Mars sextile Pluto, it's just seeing that you are a resilient, capable person. If you feel disappointed by something, remind yourself of the past obstacles that you have navigated through. Like if you're feeling disappointed by this date and this person not reaching out to you, remembering when you went through that in college. And yeah, it sucked for a little bit, but you got to the other side. Now you don't even remember the name of the person who you didn't hear back from college. Like we keep going, and it will not always feel like it does today. That's what's so important to keep in mind when we're moving through something challenging. It will not always feel like it does today. And just in case anybody's going through something really tough with Mars sextile Pluto, you gotta keep going. You gotta keep trying. You gotta keep pushing onward. It will not always feel like this. You will not even remember that person's name in 3 weeks' time, right? And just seeing the past times that you've reinvented yourself and the past times that you've kept going will help affirm, I'm a powerful person. I've got this. I'm resilient. I'm capable. Just took a little gloss break. Just saying, this Fenty gloss smells amazing. This is shade Fussy. But back to our regularly scheduled programming, now that I have a fresh coat of gloss, I want to say that the moon will be in Pisces all day long on Friday. Friday's Venus Day. Okay, now we're in a Venusian season. We've got Venus in exaltation. We've got the moon transiting a sign that Venus exalts in. There's a Venusian vibe in the air. So again, it's like we have all this Mars energy, which is around going after new challenges and new goals, but we're enjoying the process, my love. Venus is sitting pretty in Taurus. So we're enjoying the process. We're, sitting in our Empress energy. For anyone who reads tarot, we're sitting in our Empress energy. We're taking aligned action when a situation warrants it, and we're sitting back and enjoying ourselves when a situation does not. That's the vibe, that's the attitude, okay? And we see that just with the Pisces moon sextiling the Taurus sun around 10:55 a.m. I do want to highlight that we are now building to the Taurus new moon, May 7th. And so now that we are in the waning crescent moon, you may observe this weekend, you're feeling a little bit more inward. You're feeling a little bit more introspective. You may be feeling called to release certain things within your world, or you could just be feeling more introspective, things of the nature. That's to be expected with waning crescent moons. And if you feel that strongly, it might just be an extra significant new moon for you. Friday, even though we're sitting in our Empress energy, okay, I do want to say the Pisces moon does align with Saturn around 4 p.m. So we can just feel like we hit a wall, whether it's kind of like emotionally, because it sucks not getting what you want, right? It sucks to have this great date and have someone not text you back, or to go all this way with a business negotiation and then they pull out of the deal. Like, it sucks when things don't go our way. Like, it's not always so easy as having a magic wand just saying, that's okay because I'm the source of my power. Like, we can feel the disappointment from things not going our way, but it's just important not to allow your entire inner landscape to be utterly hinged on this external world, because then you will just go back and forth like a ping pong ball. Again, it's not letting other people have the power to dictate whether or not you're having a good day. It's like feeling the emotions around, gosh, that sucks, but I'm still gonna make sure that I make myself a good meal, and then I listen to beautiful music, and that I enjoy my life, because I am the source of my own power. It's not these opportunities, it's not these people. And so with the energy of Friday, you could be working hard on something. You could be feeling a little stuck because of obligations or responsibilities. Certain disappointments could be weighing heavily on you. You could be feeling even sometimes a little disheartened, and that's okay. But just remember, we've got Mars sextile Pluto, so you will pick yourself back up from this experience and rise again, just like the Phoenix, okay? So you just gotta keep going, comfort yourself, indulge, and just know this too shall pass. It will not always feel like it does today. So on Saturday, May 4th, the Pisces moon sextiles Uranus and Jupiter in Taurus in the morning time, and then aligns with Neptune around 12:06 p.m. So definitely a dreamy morning, being open to where, the universe is guiding you, where it is that your intuition is guiding you. Like I said yesterday, we can be feeling a little bit more introspective, and with the energy of the Pisces moon, we could really be wanting to soothe our soul space, connect to what makes us feel connected to the something more. And that differs for everyone. For some people, they feel this sense of divinity when they're deep in prayer. For others, it's when they are listening to music. For others, it's when they are in nature. But the energy of moon and Neptune deeply wants to feel connected to this something more. And my typical warning when it comes to moon on Neptune is we can definitely be feeling more emotional. We can be feeling more sensitive to other people's emotions. So I typically say on Saturday, be in environments that you want to soak up your environment, right? Pisces is the fish. Be in waters that you want to be drinking. Like if you're in places that are very busy and very crowded, sometimes we can feel overstimulated or even overwhelmed. So that would just be my cautionary warning on Saturday. It also isn't very productive. Let me say that. Moon, Neptune, very imaginative, not always so productive. If you follow the waves of imagination, you may create a beautiful poem or make a souffle or have a new vision or idea, but the inspiration never went in the way that you thought that it was going to go. It's kind of the energy of Neptune. And the moon will be void until 1:41 p.m., at which point the moon enters Aries, which is out of the dreams and into action. There's this energy of can do. So like I said, I do feel like some of us, Friday or even Saturday morning, could be feeling a little defeated. You could be feeling a little down on yourself. You could be feeling like, what's the point? This person doesn't even like me. I'm not feeling energized to, want to go out and find a new date. Should I go back to my ex? There's just an energy with the moon departing Pisces and entering Aries where it's just like, all right, get up. Stand up. Okay, you've gotten through this before. You'll get through it again. It's just a person. Like, go out, live, have some fun, do something. Like the energy of the Aries moon kind of activates that Mars sextile Pluto that's currently separating the cosmos as the moon sextiles Pluto and then aligns with Mars. So there's just a desire to want to move some energy. You could be feeling inclined to want to work out. You could want to rock climb. You could want to take on a new challenge. You could be randomly feeling inspired to do some manual labor around the house. You could really want to outlet to some energy. So yes, while we're having a waning crescent moon, so you might be less apt to be out in the world, you definitely are in the mood to take on new challenges. I will just say, Moon, Mars aligning in Aries, we can sometimes be a little hot-headed, and we are in Taurus season, which can be a little stubborn. So do be mindful of your reactions. I do want to say when it comes to anger with Mars and Aries, it does require an outlet. And so there's nothing wrong with anger. I would just say do something with it. Put it into a workout, put it into a project, scream if you need to. It's just asking for a release. A lot of times with Aries energy, if we just allow ourselves to have that moment where we just scream or take a kickboxing class, it's like it's out of our system. It's not an energy that likes to hold on to things, and especially with Mars and Aries, not holding on to our anger, but also not lashing out with our anger with Moon aligning with Mars. On Sunday, May 5th, the only energies all day is that the Aries moon will align with Mercury and Chiron in the evening time. Again, they are building for their final conjunction now that Mercury is direct and retracing its steps. And so with this energy, with Mercury, Chiron, it's just important the loops that you are in. Again, it's like not allowing the outcome that didn't go how you wanted it to go. Around, I wanted this person to text me and they didn't. I wanted this job and it didn't happen. Not allowing that to induce familiar old loops around how you're not good enough, or around, see, I knew this person wouldn't text you back. Like, nobody likes you. That's why things happened with your ex. Like, when that happens, literally stop yourself and say, cancel, cancel. Or say eject, whatever helps you. Sometimes I like visualize clicking X on a tab where I'm just like, we're not going there. Okay, that's an old story. That's an old loop. I'm not giving power to that loop. I'm taking charge of my mind, which isn't so easy. It's this constant skill that we're learning, but one that we're really asked to learn this week around cancel, cancel. We're not going there. We're Xing out of this tab. We are canceling this narrative. This is not how it is that we are allowing our internal script to flourish, right? With Pluto retrograde, we're really looking inward. How can I empower myself from the inside out? And that involves my mind, right? How can I transform my inner landscape so that I feel as transformed as my external landscape? Or if you feel like your external world has not transformed with Pluto retrograde, how can I take this invitation to look inward to see what old stories I'm carrying, or what even resistances, what fears I have to my own transformation, to my own power? Sometimes we do carry certain fears with us that do block our desires, whether it's like fears of visibility or fears around what people will think if we succeed. I know it seems silly, but Pluto retrograde is an invitation to contemplate any sort of self-sabotaging behaviors or mentalities that could exist within you. And this is a week to empower yourself from the inside out. So my love, that is our week. The Magic Monday mantra of the week is, I am my own power source. Mars is currently in Aries, and Mars is the planet that has to do with desire. And so with Mars sitting pretty in its home turf, absolutely, this is a week that we are desiring and we are yearning and we are taking action and we are initiating and we're moving towards what lights us up. But it's equally important to really center yourself as your own power source. And when you know that and know that you're a renewable power source, right? you stop leaking your power out, because Pluto is about resilience. So when we see I'm my own power source, I've bounced back from obstacles again, I'll bounce back from this obstacle as well. I'm going to move towards what I want. If it doesn't work out, whatever. I'm my own power source, and my love, I'm renewable. This is a renewable power source, okay? And it helps you really stand within your power, approaching these new obstacles and these new challenges, not through needing something from the interaction, but rather just from that energy of desire around, I already like my experience, I'm already feeling powerful in my experience, and this is just something else to add to it, right? It's a little sprinkle to what I've already got going on. A lot of times when it comes to feeling like power is outside of us, it's like, I cannot be happy until this problem is solved, or until I have this desire of mine met. And that sets us up to be in this near addictive loop, right? Of never feeling fully satisfied or fully quenched within our own experience. So just important to see yourself as your own power source. And I've talked a lot about this energy around goals, but it also shows up around problems. Like there's always something that we are worried about, like a certain problem. Sometimes it's big problems, sometimes small problems. But as soon as that is alleviated, our mind just goes to something else. We have a temporary moment of relief, and then our mind just goes to something else to obsess about. It's not about there never being problems. It's not about there never being goals. It's just about working that muscle around being okay. Okay if the goal doesn't work out. Okay if there is a problem that you're trying to get solved. It's just being anchored in the interim and not allowing your own internal equilibrium to be determined by the goal that you're pursuing and how that's going, or the problem that you're trying to solve and how that's going. It's seeing yourself as your own power source and knowing that you are a powerful, resilient individual who can take this week of astrology and every other week of astrology that comes after. So speaking of, hope to see you here next week, same time, same place. Make sure to subscribe if you are new here and you want to stick around, make more of your Mondays magical. If you made it to the end of the video, if you could let me know by commenting below the muscle emoji to really just center in this energy of power that we are anchoring into within this week. And if you do not use emojis or you like the word game, I always love reading them every week, just use the word muscle within a sentence. I'm wishing you all such a beautiful May. Make sure to check out Ana Luisa to get up to 25% off within their Mother's Day sale. Such a lovely opportunity to spoil a mom in your life or yourself. You know, talk about resilient, okay? My Ana Luisa jewelry is so resilient. It has been through the summer I spent in New York. It has been through many a workout. It has been through many a shower, but still just as gleaming, just as beautiful. So what perfect jewelry to invest in as we have all this Pluto energy live within the air. And until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay cosmic.